Hey, welcome guys. Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV, and here we are with the results of our 1990 Reds replay using Fall Classic Baseball. Let's go over batting, then pitching, and then we'll arrive at some basic conclusions. If you haven't tried Fall Classic Baseball, I recommend you do. You can go to the website and try it out for free, print out a couple of teams, and with the fast action cards, it's extremely easy to play. Fast moving game, plays like a simple game, except you get a lot of advanced features without the counting, without the addition and subtraction on every play. What it does is sometimes it gives the runner's speed the advantage, other times it's the uh, outfielders arm the advantage, for example, on base running. So you don't have to calculate every time, the points on the outfielder, the points on the infielder, the base that he's going to, the outfielder's position. You don't have to do that every time. That's um, basically integrated into the game itself for you, and that livens the flow or accelerates the flow. And that's one of the things that I think Sovan, rest in peace, was pretty genius about. He went away from, okay, the outfielders +2, base runners +3, so that's going to be a +5 for the base runners. So he went away from that and said, okay, in this case, if the outfielder has a strong arm, then he's going to hold, or there's going to be a chance for a play. Um, and so on and so forth. So if the speed of the runner, he's going to take the extra base and he's going to score. He's going to come around to score if he's fast, right? If he's slow, he's not. So he has that integrated into the game, and it's done through the fast action cards, where when you pull a card, it'll tell you going from first to third. If he's fast, he will. If there's two outs, he will. So all those things are embedded into the game without having to do it every single time, right? And I really like that approach because it eliminates all the counting, the subtracting, and it also has automatic stealing, and we'll talk about that. Let's get into the batting. The average was the replay is the green, it's on top, and the actual season is below in yellow. So 276 is the average for the season, whereas it was 265, so that's 11 points higher. Runs scored 815 to 693, so basically 122. I believe it's about 122. Yep, more runs scored in the game. Hits were up by almost 100. Doubles were up by 50. Triples were down by 7, pretty close. Home runs were up by only 5, so that's pretty darn on the money there. RBIs, obviously, when hits and runs are going to be up, RBIs are going to be up, and similarly, about 100 RBIs above actual. Stolen bases were down. So, what is that saying? It just may not be coming up as much as it needs to come up. So, that's all I could say right now. Because I'm playing the automatic steal, and that comes up with a plus sign. So, not coming up as much as it needs to come up because they stole more bases in actual games. 166 to 120. Caught stealing the same. Obviously, if attempts aren't coming up enough, then caught stealing is going to be down, and they're half of what they actually were. Errors is one here that is pretty far off. It's off by about 50, and that has a lot to do with the fact that the Reds were a very sure-handed team, and their error ratings are very, very low. And in being low, a lot of times it's overlapped with the KD roll. KD roll is a strikeout pitcher is going to get that high KD number, which may go from 1 to 4. So if your shortstop is a 4 and he commits an error on a 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's an error roll, then the KD check wipes that error away. So yeah, exactly. Um, so that may be the reason for this discrepancy in errors. Now, base on balls are up by about 100. It would be 523, 623, more than 100. So base on balls are way up here. What is that? For 30, 34, 34 plus 6 to 57, 157 more base on balls in the replay. That's way too many base on balls in the replay. I believe just way too many. Strikeouts up by over 200. Again, a lot more strikeouts in the replay. But look at hit by pitches, almost right on the money. Sacrifice hits, right on the money. Sacrifice fly, right on the money. Grounded into double plays, a little bit higher in the actual, but almost right on the money. On base percentage, pretty close, 25 points off. 351 versus the actual 325. Slugging, only off by 17 points. And that's obviously due to the extra base hits numbers were pretty darn close. And then, of course, OBPS, right, on base plus slugging. I believe it's pretty close, 724 to 767. So that's your offense. So if there's any any questionable areas, it would be the walks, maybe the strikeouts, and then of course the just the runs, an extra bunch of runs here. And I'm gonna finish I have two more of these to do. I have my Milwaukee Braves, 59 Milwaukee Braves, can't say it, and then the Yankees, the 76 Yankees. Both those replays are in August, so they should be coming up pretty soon, and I'll get on those. Let's go over to the pitching. All right, let's go to the pitching, and in the pitching ERA. 377 in the replay, 339 in actuality. So again, pitchers are giving up more runs, but the wins were up there in the replay, whereas in reality they had 91 wins, and in the replay they had 103. Hits are much higher, about 100 hits over, 120 hits over. Runs are not that far off, only 50 runs over. Now, earned runs are more than 50 or 65 runs over. Home runs are almost on the money, 121 to 124. Base on balls are fairly close. I can't complain about the base on balls. There's a bigger discrepancy here, right? 466 to 623 versus 612 to 543. So the pitching is closer in terms of walks. But the batters seem to be getting more walks. So then strikeouts, again, about 225 over. So strikeouts seem to predominate. Complete games, almost identical. 11 in the replay, 14 in actuality. Shutouts, almost identical. 11 and 12. Saves, almost identical. 52 and 20 in the actuality. Balks are way off, so this has to be more. Balks have to come up. So yeah, I don't know. There only was one balk, and that's not right. There was 26 balks, or one every whatever. 20. Let's see. It would be 8, 187, basically one every. Let's do balks. I'd say about four every month, right? Once a week you get a balk. And in the replay, there was only one balk all season. Wild pitches are pretty close, except they're a little bit higher, more wild pitches. Pass balls are higher in actuality than in the replay, whereas wild pitches were higher in the replay than in actuality, 68 to 48. Pass balls were the opposite. And then I couldn't find I was using Stratomatic system for stats, and I couldn't find the hit by pitch. Actually, I couldn't, in Baseball Reference, I couldn't find the hit by pitch by the pitching staff. I don't know why I couldn't find that. That's kind of weird. That should be pretty easy to find. So then I got to add it to this, and then we'll know, basically how many. I should be able to find that very quickly. Hold on one second. Okay, so I could not find that number. I believe the 34 is not for the replay, but is for the actuality of that season. So that's it. That's pretty much it. You saw what it is. The numbers don't lie. Now, this being said, I have to basically add the disclaimer that I played the regular rules from till about half the season, till April, May, June, till July. And then for the second half of the season, I removed, batting was at about 290, right? And it was far off from 265. So I removed a hit from every pitcher's column. The last hit on every pitcher's column. I spoke to Greg about it, and he said, try that. And, the stats adjusted pretty close. I'm wondering if I had started it that way the whole season, then maybe it'd be a lot closer. I felt that for some reason 1990 may have been generously rated in terms of offense. I'm not sure why. There's a lot of moving parts in this game. So a lot of times just the fun of it is, worth a few extra runs here and there. But there are ways to tone that down. So the game is still highly worthy of enjoying it for sure. I'm going to continue to play out these other seasons. The game's just a lot of fun to play. But I do feel that there's a lot going on. There's a lot of bells and whistles. There's a lot of twists and turns in this game, and it makes it tricky. It may take more than a 162 game schedule to have things settle down. I think it may, because of there's so much going on in this game, that maybe a 162 game schedule is just not enough opportunities, not enough dice rolls for the odds to really balance out, so the numbers are closer. And anyway, that's my thoughts on it. Fall Classic Baseball, it's definitely a fun game. I'm going to start, after I finish these 2 seasons, I'm going to start another one, and I'm playing some other games. I got some Stratomatic stuff going on, and so on and so forth. I'm going to have some free time again. I went back to work for 3 months, and now I am out of work temporarily. I have another gig coming up, a big one, and that's going to be exciting. And that is coming up in August, and but otherwise I'm going to be pretty much free, so I'll be able to play some more games and run some more games. So that's about it. And this is Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV from the dark. And let me know in the comments section what you think. I mean, again, don't take this game solely for the data. Take this game as really a fun game to play, with a lot of twists and turns and unexpected things happening constantly, and it flows. It plays fast. It's based on 2d6, with the d20, and if you memorize the d20 for the outs, it gives you outs pretty quick. You can use a quick outs chart, and it works nicely. So check it out, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.